our next step forward, we're not to the finish line, but we're making steps forward to get toward the finish line. On behalf of Natchez Inc., the city, the county, and Natchez Now, and all the partners that support Natchez Inc., happy to see y'all here this morning. Thank you for coming. We'd like to say the Pledge of Allegiance to get started. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's see. Here, we're pleased to have here joining me at the podium Kevin Wilson, speaking on behalf of the Adams County Board of Supervisors, Mayor Dan Gibson, speaking on behalf of the city, and Jeff McDaniel with Velocis. Jeff, do you want to raise your hand so everybody know who you are? And thank you for being here. We're here to celebrate the final phase, the beginning of the final phase of the construction of the levee around the Belwood site. I'd like to begin by giving everybody a brief history of how we got here. The Adams County purchased the 192-acre Belwood site in the early 1900s. At the time, there was no levee protection, and it flooded every year. So it remained pretty much just sitting there, working to get a prospect interested in this site that flooded every year. Around 2014, Adams County and Natchez Inc. set out to figure out a long-term plan to develop the Belwood site into a levee-protected industrial site. Through Natchez Inc., the county optioned the property to a company named Keyor. People could probably barely remember Keyor. It was years ago. Keyor paid Adams County $250,000 in non-refundable option money for the time they had it optioned. Keyor was not able to get their business plan together, and they didn't move forward, so they just left the non-refundable $250,000 in the general funds of Adams County. So that's $250,000 to the good the county was at that point. So the county started, and Natchez Inc. started seeking ways to get money to build this levee. In 2016, the county received about $2 million from the Delta Regional Authority to begin the first phase of the levee construction. That levee construction, with that $2 million, began in around 2017, and that $2 million came from Delta Regional Authority with support from our federal elected delegation. The county then sought an additional funds for phase 2 and got $1 million from the Mississippi legislature, thanks to now Governor Reeves and our legislative representatives. Phase 2 was completed in 2019. In order to complete the third round after COVID, we received an additional $1 million from the legislature, thanks to Governor Reeves and Lieutenant Governor Hoseman in 2021. Natchez Inc. got the site certified by Energy and MDA, which made it a priority site. In 2022, the county and Natchez Inc. applied for and received an MDA site development grant for $1.95 million. $250,000 of that 1.95 was dedicated to clean up concrete at the IP site and do rail improvements. So the 1.95 plus the additional 1.2 that Velocis recently put up gave the county $2.7 million toward the levee and inside the levee dirt work improvements. They bid the phase 3 levee project out in 2023. Womack & Sons was the high bidder, and Womack thankfully was patient with their bid, as their bid technically expired, but they held their price to where they had bid and didn't raise the price, and the county didn't have to rebid. So that was very good for Womack. Thank you. Velocis is working to build a state-of-the-art biofuel plant on the site. So after they've now contributed their $1.2 million, we're able to get started. So to recap the funds that the county has received regarding this project, the $1.9 million from Delta Regional Authority, Mississippi Development Authority, $1.9 million. Mississippi Legislature, a total of $2 million, and Velasquez, $1.2 million. That's total $7 million for engineering, construction, and design. And these funds have been attained from the previously mentioned partners with little to no match from the county to date. The county's received quite a few option payments in addition to the Keyor option payments as well. So the county will net out nearly $1.4 million in option payments while having nearly $9 million in private and public monies dedicated to the clearing, grubbing, and levee construction. Once the levee is constructed, we'll have about 110 acres of what should be one of the most attractive industrial development sites on the Mississippi River. It's got a port, it's got rail, it's got industrial, electrical, natural gas, water, and sewer. Thank you to our partners for making this investment. It's a long road to get here. It is worth the journey. I'd like to welcome to the podium now Kevin Wilson to speak on behalf of the Board of Supervisors.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Usually I say, "Hey, what a beautiful day." Well, not today, but this is a good day for Adams County. My memories of this area, the first memories I had, like probably most of y'all, was Belwood Country Club. Somebody invited me to go play golf out there. I was about 35, been in the oil field for about 10 years. I said, I'm strong, I can do this. Well, Tiger Woods and Phil Nicholson were safe because I was terrible at golf. It just, that game beat me up and down. But driving out here this morning, what a change. This place has really changed. And this is going to be huge for Natchez and Adams County both. I appreciate everybody's support in this, seeing all y'all come out here today. The difference it can make for Adams County getting this levee closed off and a facility like that built will certainly help our area tremendously. When I was running for supervisor, I kept thinking we need some change, and the change I was speaking of was I'm so tired of seeing our children go off to college, then they meet somebody and they get married and they never come back. And then when the parents are still here and they become grandparents, they're leaving us. And they've been doing that. This has been going on for a long time. I'm sure it happens all over the country, but it really seems to happen in Natchez a lot. Some of the children are coming back every once in a while. We get a few of them back, but we were losing the parents going to be with their grandchildren. And I understand that. I've got grandchildren of my own. But if we don't have something like this that pays good salaries, our children aren't coming back. So I'm glad to see this coming. I'm glad to see this finished, and several other projects are on the way, and I'm looking forward to it. I appreciate it. Thank y'all for being here. One other thing, I want to recognize my fellow supervisors. I forgot that last time I spoke somewhere. Ms. Hutchins is here. Mr. Gray is here, and Warren Gaines is here. I think Wes is actually gone to Mexico to party or something.
Thank you, Kevin. This time I'd like to welcome our Mayor, Dan Gibson, to speak on behalf of the city.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you so much. I just want to say it is a great day to be here with all of you, and it is always great to be here also with my Natchez team. And I want to acknowledge our Mayor Pro Tem, Sarah Carter Smith, our Alderwoman of Ward 3. Also, we have Alderman of Ward 6, Curtis Maroney, and Alderwoman of Ward 1, Valencia Hall. And couldn't do anything without them and the other alderpersons. We couldn't do anything without our Board of Supervisors, and we certainly couldn't do anything without Natchez Inc. This is a team effort, and I think back, Supervisor Hutchins, to a really hot day in August of 2021, and I was a new mayor and you were president of the Board of Supervisors, and that same day we had an announcement for the Eola project, and then I sweated through that suit and nearly froze to death in the air conditioning that afternoon meeting with the governor about this project. And while everyone always wants to doubt, and I know sometimes it's easier to doubt than it is to have faith, here we are. Velocys is happening. And in fact, we've had great news just the last few days on the Eola project. And I think what it goes to say is this: the Natchez renewal is alive and well. And we are definitely going now in the right direction. I want to thank the Board of Supervisors for their stepped up support of Natchez Inc. I want to thank the City of Natchez and our aldermen for supporting a stepped up support of Natchez Inc. Because without a robust business model here in Natchez for economic development, our region will certainly fall behind. But thanks to the hard work of Chandler Russ, Glenn, your board, Pat, all of those, Amy, Catherine, who are working so hard. My goodness, look where we're headed, Sue. So many things that we were dreaming about just a few years ago are now coming to pass. Jeff, there you are. Jeff, thank you for your support of Natchez and your support of this project. 1.2 million is, as we say in the South, that's not chicken feed. That is real investment, and it shows your commitment to making this historic project a reality. And we thank you for supporting Natchez and choosing Natchez. And I also want to say this, all of the work that's gone in the past years to get us to this point, I realize that in many respects I'm a Johnny-come-lately. And I want to thank those who have worked so hard to make Natchez what it is. Those who have never given up on Natchez, and those now who are working so hard together to make all of our dreams come true. And so congratulations. It's a great time, and we look forward to the groundbreaking, or the linoleum breaking, whichever that's going to be. Thanks again.
This time, I'd like to introduce Jeff McDaniel with Velocys. Jeff is the Vice President of New Projects for Velocys. He sets the strategy and leads Velocys site selection, government affairs, and early stage project development activities. Jeff is the point person for biofuels and will be prominent in converting the area's abundant forestry residues into next generation jet fuel. Jeff, please come and tell us a little bit about Velocys.
Fantastic. Well, you have to start with thanks and gratitude. So I do want to thank the Adams County Board of Supervisors. We are co-investing, with their support to finish off this levee. When folks say that, hey, this is going to be a great site, yeah, I know it's a great site. Many of you may not know that when Velocys first came here, we evaluated 11 other different sites across the states of Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Alabama, and we chose this one. And we chose this one because of everything it had going for it. It's a large site. It has the infrastructure. It's here at the port. It has abundant pine plantations in the area, which haven't had a customer in a long time. We would be that customer. This plant would bring in 5,000 tons a day of woody biomass. So that's within 75-mile radius. That's an awful lot of forestry jobs that would be created associated with that. But part of it was also the support that we had, because there was this challenge, like, well, it tends to get wet in the spring. And so we had to finish the levee. The levee had been approved. It was starting to move ahead, and we have over time had agreements and been able to extend it and step up our support in terms of site option payments, and now the final tranche in terms of being able to help finish off the construction. So thanks to the Board of Supervisors. Of course, I have to thank my colleagues at Natchez Inc., who've been point person and have been wrestling with me through all those steps along the way. Dan, I have to thank you as well from the city of Natchez itself and the support that's had. And for some folks who aren't here in Jackson, the Mississippi Development Authority, Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality, who've completed the early permitting review. We've had just great support from both here within the local community and within the state of Mississippi. And with that, we're thrilled to be here today. So with that, folks are like, okay, well that's really exciting. Now Jeff, what are you guys actually going to do? And so I'll try to. What Velocys has done is we've developed a way to take materials that don't have a lot of value today and turn them into a fuel that does have a lot of value. And specifically in here, what we want to do is take the forestry residuals. In other words, that's the parts of the tree that you can't convert into lumber. I mean, when you go a tree, what you want to make is high value 2x4s, railroad ties, structural beams, etc. But you end up with branches and thinnings and other bits that don't have a lot of value. That stuff we can use, and that's what we will bring in from the surrounding communities to the site. We'll have to, as it turns out, Mother Nature makes it kind of hard to convert wood chips into jet fuel. So you got to go through a lot of steps to be able to make that happen. But that's what we have perfected and done. We've demonstrated that at 2 different sites, both here in the U.S. and in Japan. We produced jet fuel. We've put it in a flame. We've flown it. We have secured contracts with Southwest Airlines and IAG, the parent company of BA, for all the fuel we can produce for 10 years under a long-term fixed-price contract. So we've got that in place. We've engaged one of the largest engineering and construction firms in the world, Bechtel Enterprises, to build this facility. It's going to be a big plant. It's probably closer to a couple $2 billion once we're all said and done. And to the point Kevin made earlier, it'll create good jobs. It'll create high-paying, steady jobs. It'll be over 100 jobs. It'll be here in the biorefinery site itself. And we would estimate, when you look at all of the materials we need, probably about 300 forestry jobs of folks, managing the plantations, harvesting the wood, bringing here, etc. So jobs that, are ready, available today, and jobs of the future that keep families here in Natchez, in the community. So we're excited. What we're here today, is undoubtedly an important step in the journey. You can't begin building a project until it's going to stay dry. And there's been an awful lot of engineering and hard work to figure that all out and sort it out and figure out how to leverage the infrastructure here to make that happen. Along the way, we've had to do other like environmental permitting and confirmation, like, okay, are we going to be able to get simple things like, are you going to be able to get all the water off the site when it rains really hard, when a hurricane comes in? Or is there any, what about all the water that comes off of it? So there's been a lot of work to move it ahead. With this, though, this is an important step of the journey. And with that, I'll say, just to wrap up, let's celebrate for today. Let's kind of relish the moment. We've got a lot of hard work ahead of us, but today is a good day. So thanks to all. I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you. Over to you, Glenn.
It's awesome. Yeah, look forward to seeing more of you. Thanks, Jeff. We're all excited to hear that update and looking forward to progress going forward. Once the levee is completed, we're looking forward to seeing concrete poured and buildings coming out of the ground. This is going to be a significant milestone for our community. We thank Velocys for choosing our site and for staying the course so far with their financial commitment and engineering to make this happen. I'd like to thank our state officials and staffers. Our success would not be possible without them. On behalf of Natchez Inc., we'd like to thank Adams County Board of Supervisors, the Mayor and Board of Aldermen of the City of Natchez, Natchez Now's members, Natchez Inc. for their hard work, and we'd like to thank the Natchez Convention Center and Grand Hotel for helping put on this event today. I'd like to ask the following folks to join me at the shovels. Kevin Wilson, President of Adams County Board of Supervisors, Dan Gibson, Mayor of Natchez, Chandler Rust, Executive Director of Natchez Inc., Jeff McDaniel with Velocys, Paloma Garcia with Velocys, David Rose with Energy, and Doug with Neil Schaefer. And the other, any members of the Board of Supervisors. Don't let me leave them out. all members of the Board of Supervisors that are here with us. Gang, come on.
So obviously we were going to throw some dirt today, and we're a little. So what we would do is if those that Glenn called up, grab a shovel, and I think we'll just try to kind of get in this area here and just have a pose for fishing. I think we'd come this way.
Is it still raining?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Angela, you come this way.
It is raining.
Y'all kind of swing this way.
Look, the leader's down there. Oh, no, you're fine. I'm sorry. Mayor, you're not going to be front and center?
Don't have to be front and center.
Are they going to be able to get us all in? That's it.
We'll back up a little bit.
Tall.
You see that? Can you get is the picture in there, Jane? We got it. I've got it. The shovel's making me feel short. Or might be.
Hurt my back.
Getting flashbacks there, Kevin?
Yeah.
Where's that?
Back, right.
Awesome.
Well, just thank y'all for y'all's continued support. This has been a long journey. Almost nearly 10 years of work coming to fruition. And as y'all know, collecting, going around and getting $7 to $9 million to get this done is a task that needs everybody's involvement and everybody's help. And I can look across this board, and I know everybody in this room, as well as that's actually holding the shovel, has had some part in whether it's talking to our legislators, or both state and local, federal and from organizations and entities, and so we're excited today to finally get the last phase on its way. We kicked off and see what the property can do. My quote of the day is probably the old saying that they're not making any more land, right? And that's the old saying that everybody says. But the reality is, you can take your land and make it better, and that's what we're doing today. And it becomes, once that ring is closed and the improvements are done, that site becomes useful. It actually becomes industrial property that can be utilized for Jeff's project or future projects that may come. So we're excited about the opportunity to look forward to it. So I think that's going to be it. I wish we had some dirt to throw, but we don't. So we're just posing with a picture. Perfect.
Thank everybody for coming, and we look forward, Jeff, to watching progress going forward.
Sounds great.
And let Chandler know whatever he and we can do.
Yeah.
He definitely does that.
Thank y'all.
I got them on speed dial.